NBC has made a decision that will make a lot of NASCAR fans happy. They have announced that there will be no full-screen commercials during green flag action at 3 important races this fall. These races are Daytona, Atlanta, and Talladega. Instead of cutting away from the race, NBC will show commercials side by side with the race so fans can keep watching the action while the commercials play. This is a big change that many fans have wanted for a long time, because missing key moments during a race because of a commercial break can be frustrating. The way people watch TV has changed over the years. Many viewers now have the ability to skip ads or avoid them altogether by watching on-demand content. This has made traditional commercials less effective because when a full-screen ad comes on, many people leave the room, grab a snack, or do something else. But with side-by-side ads, people are less likely to turn away because they can still see the race. This is why some believe that side-by-side commercials might actually be more valuable to advertisers. People may not give their full attention to the ad, but they're more likely to stay in front of the TV and see it. Formula One has gained many new fans in the U.S., and one reason could be that the broadcasts are commercial-free. This has raised questions about whether other sports should follow a similar approach. By reducing the interruptions during the race, NBC might attract more viewers who are used to having more control over how much advertising they see. Younger viewers in particular prefer to have fewer interruptions and more control over their viewing experience. If NBC's new approach works, it could lead to other networks following suit. For now, NBC is only trying this new approach for 3 races, but these are races where the action is often intense and fans don't want to miss a second. The Daytona race is particularly important because it's one of the most famous races in NASCAR. The Atlanta and Talladega races are also known for their high-stakes action, so keeping fans engaged by not cutting away for commercials is a smart move. Many are hoping that this experiment will be successful and lead to more races with fewer interruptions. NBC is not just making changes to their commercial breaks, but they're also making a big change in the NASCAR Cup Series booth. Lee Diffie, who is well known for his work with IndyCar and for calling the Olympics, will take over the play-by-play duties for the remainder of the 2024 season. This change has been rumored for a while, but now it's official. Rick Allen, who has been the play-by-play announcer for NASCAR on NBC since 2015, will shift to calling the Xfinity Series races for the rest of the season. Many people have mixed feelings over this change. Rick Allen has become a familiar voice for NASCAR fans over the years, and some will miss him calling the Cup Series races. But others are excited to see what Lee Diffie will bring to the booth. He's known for his energy and professionalism, and many believe he'll do a great job. Diffie has a lot of experience in motorsports, and his work during the Olympics showed that he can handle high-pressure situations. This change in the booth could bring a fresh perspective to the broadcast, and it will be interesting to see how fans react to the new voice of the NASCAR Cup Series on NBC. Rick Allen is a well-known voice in NASCAR. He's been with NBC for several years, calling races for both the Cup Series and the Xfinity Series. But like all announcers, he isn't perfect, and there have been times when he has stumbled over words or mixed up names. Even though this happens, Rick Allen has still managed to create memorable calls that fans love. His chemistry with co-commentators like Jeff Burton and Steve Letarte are also a key part of why many fans enjoy listening to him during races. But now NBC is making a change. With new broadcast partners joining the NASCAR world next season, the lineup of commentators might look very different soon. This season is likely Rick Allen's last as the lead announcer for NBC's Cup Series coverage. Instead of leading the Cup Series broadcast, he'll be moving to the Xfinity Series booth for the rest of the season. Lee Diffie will take over the play-by-play duties for the Cup Series, bringing a new voice to the broadcast. With networks like TNT and Amazon entering the NASCAR scene, there's a possibility that Rick Allen could join one of these new partners. Rumors are already starting to swirl about Dale Earnhardt Jr. joining TNT and Amazon, and there's been talk that Steve Letarte might follow him. Rick Allen has worked with Dale Jr. before, so it's possible they could reunite on a different network next season. But Rick Allen is not the only one who might face competition for a new job. ESPN's Marty Smith has also had talks with both Warner Brothers and Amazon about joining the booth. Marty Smith is close friends with Dale Earnhardt Jr., which could help him land a spot with one of these new partners. Meanwhile, there's speculation that Alan Bestwick, another experienced commentator, might be in the mix as well. Some fans have noticed that Bestwick follows the Prime Sports Instagram account, which has led to rumors that he could be joining Amazon's team. If this happens, it would be a reunion that many fans would love to see because Bestwick and Dale Jr. have worked together before and had great chemistry. While the news about Rick Allen and NBC's broadcast changes might be mixed, there's also some bad news for fans of Parker Kligerman. NASCAR has handed down a big penalty to his Xfinity Series team because of illegal spoiler modifications found before the race at Michigan. As a result, Kligerman has been docked 20 driver and owner points, and he's also lost 5 playoff points. His crew chief, Patrick Donahue, was fined $25,000. The penalty is a significant blow to Kligerman's playoff hopes because he's in a tight battle for one of the final spots in the Xfinity Series playoffs. This penalty drops Kligerman from 36 points above the playoff cut line to only 16 points. He still has a slight cushion, but the competition is fierce. Sammy Smith, who drives for JR Motorsports, is close behind him, and Brandon Jones is also in the mix. JR Motorsports has fast cars, especially on superspeedways like Daytona and Atlanta, which are coming up soon. The NASCAR Xfinity Series has 5 regular season races left before the playoffs begin. The upcoming races include Daytona, Darlington, Atlanta, Watkins Glen, and Bristol. Each track brings different challenges that will test the drivers in unique ways. Daytona and Atlanta are superspeedway-style tracks where anything can happen because of the high speeds and close racing. Darlington is known as the track too tough to tame because it requires precision and patience. Watkins Glen is a road course that demands skillful handling and braking, and Bristol is a short track known for its tight corners and intense racing. The variety of these tracks means that every driver needs to be at their best to secure a spot in the playoffs. Parker Kligerman is one of the drivers who's fighting for a playoff spot. He faces a tough challenge in the next 5 races. While the Xfinity Series races are heating up, there's also attention on Austin Dillon's appeal. Dillon and his team are fighting a penalty that could affect their playoff eligibility. NASCAR has strict rules, and penalties can be severe, but appeals can sometimes change the outcome. In this case, Dillon is hoping to regain his playoff eligibility, but it will be an uphill battle. NASCAR changed the wording of their rules last year, making it harder for teams to get penalties reduced or erased. Dillon explained in a recent interview that the goal of the appeal is to get back into the playoffs. He believes his team deserves to be in the playoffs, but the odds are certainly not in their favor. The appeal process is tough because it's all or nothing. If the panel rules against Dillon, he loses his playoff eligibility completely. The odds are likely against them, but we'll have to wait and see what the panel decides. Now, before you leave, don't forget to give this video a like and also subscribe to the channel for more such content in the future. Until then, keep exploring.